3 hospitals, a helicopter, follow-up traveling nursing care. So I guess I was pretty close to dying. But by this point, all I can think about is, like, how much is this all gonna cost? CrowdHealth was like, we got you. It'll be okay. I don't know what having insurance feels like, but I doubt it feels like family. I'm Michael Eberhardt. Been coming out here for 15 years. And for the last few with my wife, Sam. And this year is the first time with baby Connor. We're out here in small town Lincoln, Montana. One of my favorite places in the country that almost nobody knows about. But it's got a special place in my heart. Revolvers are historically reliable. It's because it takes 10 pounds of force to cock that hammer back. Not an easy thing, not something that just happens by accident. So I had it in a chest holster here, we had our fishing vests on, got the dog, and we hit the river. We started fishing right here, right out back, like we normally do, like we have for 15 years. And I had seen this one fish, and I was like, oh, that's the one. I'm gonna get him. And I had tried, and I could not get this fish to bite. But as we left that night, in my mind, I was like, I'm gonna give it a shot. Finally put on a different setup. Boom, he hit it. I knew it was him immediately. Get him in, so I walk down to the rocks, and so I'm in a foot of water, and I go bend down to take the fish off the line, and I just hear it. Boom. Kind of felt like I had been hit by a truck. And I didn't know what had happened. Ears kind of ringing, and I realized I was hit, and I wasn't sure where, but I knew I was hit. It had fallen out with the barrel pointed straight up back at me. And so it fell, and it hit the river rock, and somehow discharged. So I have 6 holes from this one bullet. It went into my calf, out of my calf, into my thigh, out of my thigh, into my body, and out of my back. And you've got bile squirting out here and blood squirting out here. And you need to do something. Your wife is pregnant, and you need to figure out a way to live.
It's crazy. It all happened so fast, but I remember hearing Michael scream, we need a stick, we need something to tie this off. I remember thinking, oh my god, I'm not even wearing like a belt right now to like tourniquet this thing. So I took the long sleeve I had on. Luckily Michael was still conscious, and he was like, you gotta go find that guy, go tell him there's an emergency. Sam's amazing. I remember when it first happened, she was crying. I said, crying's not gonna save me, and she stopped and then proceeded to save me. Sam ran to go get service, and like a Navy SEAL or something, she figured out how to get the GPS coordinates exactly of where we were, and she got to a bar of reception somewhere. If everything didn't go exactly the way that it went, I'm almost certain I wouldn't be here. But Sam got the helicopter on the line and got them coming out towards us. And the helicopter lands. I'm still praying, every inhale, every exhale. Something like 45 minutes to an hour later, they had gotten me back to Missoula. And that's when I started to lose consciousness. I spent what to me felt like 6 hours in that white light. It's real. It's like a knowing. It is coming from inside of you that you know everything's gonna be okay. Like it feels like love. When I woke up, it was Sunday. And so 6 hours would turn into, I guess, 3 days. And my whole family was there. No one knew at the time that Sam and I were pregnant with our little Connor. And this is the first thing I said when I woke up. I said, we're pregnant. And everyone just started crying. Initially, they said they thought it would take about 3 weeks of recovery in that hospital. A little over a week later, walked out of the hospital, and we're driving, and as we're driving, I'm going, I don't feel that great. I was starting to get a little feverish. We checked the temperature again, and it's at 104, and it's climbing. And it hit 105, and I started losing consciousness. So they get me in a bed, and they test my blood, and sure enough, I am very septic.
Sepsis is a blood infection. So my blood itself was infected and getting worse very quickly. I ended up getting 6 bags of blood and plasma, which is an awful lot. So I guess I was, once again, pretty close to dying. I ended up spending 14 to 15 days in the hospital fighting sepsis, dealing with the repercussions of guts that were trying to figure out how to work without some of them being there. They found a cyst where the bottom part of my lung had been, and they said, you need to get that out now. So I was admitted into the ER and another surgery and all this stuff. So anyway, it's 3 hospitals and months of care. But by this point, all I can think about is, like, how much is this all gonna cost?
That's the chopper. This one's 70 something, but what we found was negotiated down to $52,000.
Gone through tier 1 trauma, a medevac flight, weeks in the hospital. Now I got all this other stuff happening at home, and we got a son on the way. The money starts to become a very scary factor in all this. It is an absurd amount of money. 3 different hospitals, 6-figure bills coming out of each one. I've never bothered to add them all up, but had to be north of 500,000, south of $1 million, maybe close to $1 million. So I started considering pulling out the drains myself, and stuff like that. And I think it was Lizzie at CrowdHealth was like, don't you do that. Like, go in there. We got you. It'll be okay. I hadn't seen a doctor, by the way, in 20 years. Not a huge fan of traditional insurance. Been extremely health conscious and health minded for a long time. And so I wasn't even health insured before CrowdHealth. I think I saw Andy interviewing on a Bitcoin podcast talking about this CrowdHealth model. It really resonated with me. Fund the crowd and the crowd would fund you. And I thought, hey, this is great. And it's affordable. It is a solution for a broken system. I was like, for the cost, how can I not look at this? Obviously, I'm very glad I did it. Andy called me himself. And at the end of it, he said, I just want you to know, we're going to take care of you. We're going to figure this out. I had the first bill come in from Missoula, and that was like almost 300,000, I think. Open the CrowdHealth app and, take a photo of the bill and upload it. Like, okay. So I did. And as the bills kept coming in, I just kept uploading them into the app one at a time. CrowdHealth started working their magic. They negotiated the bills down and then took care of them. They came through. That almost doesn't do it justice to say they came through. I feel like I owe them a lot. So today I'm pretty much as good as I'll ever get. I'm back to, I'd say 90% of what I was. I can run, hike, shoot, lift, fish. And through all that, just thinking about how grateful I was, how screwed I would have been, I'd say my outlook has changed considerably. I wake up every day grateful. Almost the first thing I do every single day is say a quick prayer of gratitude. CrowdHealth has done so much for me. If there's anything I could do to get other people to see the value in this, I'm happy to do it. The model works. We have power together. We can go after a broken system. It doesn't take much. And if you're like me and you think nothing could ever happen, maybe someday something will happen and you'll be glad you were taken care of. Yeah, I'm grateful.